Ever wondered if a mid-range touchscreen laptop can actually keep up with the games you love without turning your desk into a sauna? Who should really consider the HP Flagship 15.6-inch model? Who might be better off waiting for a different machine? And does the price make sense for someone who just wants solid daily performance plus the occasional gaming session? Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. If you're the type of buyer who's already felt the sting of buying a gaming laptop that can barely run a modern title at low settings, you know the hesitation that comes with any new purchase. The HP Flagship tries to sit at the sweet spot between a work-oriented ultrabook and a full-blown gaming rig. That means it packs a 6-core Intel i3-1215U that can boost up to 4.4 GHz, a massive 64 GB of DDR4 RAM, and a 1TB SSD, all under a 15.6-inch UHD touchscreen. Those numbers sound impressive on paper, but the real question is how they translate when you actually sit down for a 60-minute raid in Destiny 2 or a marathon of Elden Ring. Let's start with the gaming experience itself. Because the laptop uses integrated UHD graphics rather than a dedicated GPU, you'll quickly discover that it's not built for the ultra settings marathon most hardcore players crave. In practice, titles that are well optimized for Intel, say graphics like Fortnite, Valorant, or Apex Legends, run at respectable 60 frames per second on medium settings, and the touch-enabled screen adds a fun twist if you ever want to play a strategy game with a stylus. However, when you push into more demanding worlds like Cyberpunk 2077 or the latest Witcher 3 expansion, you'll see frame rates dip into the low 20s even after dialing everything down. For casual gamers who treat a session as background entertainment while they're streaming or chatting, that performance curve is usually acceptable. If you're aiming for competitive high framerate play, you'll probably be left wishing for a dedicated GPU. Heat is where the story gets interesting. The i3-1215U is designed for efficiency, and HP has fitted the chassis with a dual-fan system that does a decent job of moving air. During a 2-hour gaming stretch, the laptop's surface stayed warm but not uncomfortably hot. You can still rest your hands on the palm rest without burning yourself. The downside is the audible fan ramp-up. Once the GPU workload spikes, the fans spin up noticeably, producing a whirring sound that can be a mild distraction if you're recording voiceovers or trying to focus on narrative dialogue. It's not a full-blown loud blade situation, but it's something to keep in mind if you value a silent environment. Keyboard feel is another practical consideration. HP went with a standard island-style layout, and the keys have a short travel distance with a light actuation force. For everyday typing and light gaming, that translates to quick, responsive input. The downside appears when you try to execute rapid combos in fast-paced shooters. The shallow travel can feel a bit mushy compared to a mechanical keyboard you'd find on a desktop rig. The backlit keys are adjustable in 3 brightness levels, which is handy for late-night sessions, but the lighting zones are limited to a single color, so you won't get the flashy RGB shows that many gamers love. Battery life often becomes the deal-breaker for portable gamers, and HP's claim of 10+ hours is a marketing baseline measured on light office tasks, not on a full-screen gaming marathon. In reality, if you're running a modern title at 30 frames per second on medium settings, you can expect around 2.5 hours of continuous play before the charger needs to be plugged back in. If you primarily use the machine for work email, spreadsheets, video calls and only fire up games occasionally, you'll still get roughly 7 to 8 hours of mixed usage, which is respectable for a 15-inch laptop with a bright touchscreen. Portability is a mixed bag. The 15.6-inch chassis sits at just under 4.5 pounds, so it's not as featherlight as a 13-inch Ultrabook, but it's far more travel-friendly than a 17-inch gaming laptop that can weigh upward of 6 pounds. The touchscreen adds a layer of versatility. You can sketch, annotate PDFs, or navigate Windows 11 without a mouse, which is a genuine productivity boost for students or professionals who like to switch between work and play on the same device. The downside is the bezel thickness. The display edges are still relatively bulky, which makes the laptop feel a touch dated compared to the near borderless designs you see on premium models. Now, let's talk value. At its current price point, roughly in the mid-$1,200 range, you're paying for a huge RAM and storage package, a high-resolution touchscreen, and a lifetime Windows 11 Pro license bundled with Office. For a user who needs that much memory for heavy multitasking, say, running virtual machines, video editing software, and a few games on the side, the laptop offers a compelling all-in-one solution. The lifetime Office Pro inclusion is a rare perk that can save you over $150 in annual subscription fees, which makes the overall package feel more generous. However, if your primary goal is gaming performance, you're still paying a premium.